Hello, welcome back to Small Hearts, Loud Voices. I'm Adrian Adair, founder of Heartbeat Forward, and this is the podcast dedicated to making congenital heart disease impossible to ignore. We've talked about the children with CHD, we have sat with their parents, we have honored the nurses who stay, we have heard August tell his story in his own words. Today we turn to someone who has been in the background for every single one of those stories. Someone who was there the morning their sibling went to the hospital and did not come home for 6 weeks. Someone who learned to be quiet when the phone rang because it might be the doctor. Someone who figured out very early that the needs of their family were arranged around a center of gravity they did not choose and could not change. Today we talk about the siblings. The ones who watch, the ones who wait, the ones who love fiercely and grieve quietly and grow up in the shadow of something enormous, without anyone thinking to ask how they are doing. This one is for them. Here is something that almost never makes it to the conversation about congenital heart disease. The siblings of CHD children are one of the most overlooked populations in pediatric healthcare. Research consistently shows that brothers and sisters of children with chronic illness, including congenital heart disease, experience significantly elevated rates of anxiety, depression, and social isolation compared to their peers. They are more likely to suppress their own emotional needs, more likely to feel invisible inside their own families, more likely to describe a childhood defined by waiting rooms and whispered phone calls and the constant low hum of medical uncertainty. They did not receive the diagnosis, but they live inside it every single day. The psychological term for what many of these children experience is called ambiguous loss. It is the grief of losing something that has not technically been lost. The family life they expected, the attention that went elsewhere, the ordinary childhood that kept getting interrupted by something no one could control. And here is the part that makes this even harder. Most siblings of CHD children do not feel entitled to their own pain. They have watched their brother or sister go through open heart surgery. They have seen their parents push to the absolute limit of human endurance, and somewhere along the way they decided that their feelings were smaller, less important, less deserving of space. They are wrong, but they learn it from watching, and no one thought to correct them because no one was looking at them closely enough to notice. Approximately 1 in 100 babies is born with congenital heart disease, which means there are hundreds of thousands of siblings in this country alone growing up alongside that reality right now, carrying something no one named, grieving something no one acknowledged, loving someone with their whole heart while quietly wondering if anyone else sees them too. They deserve to be seen. That is why we're here. Her name is Nadia. She is 12 years old. She has a younger brother named Cole, who was born with transposition of the Great Arteries and had open heart surgery at 4 days old. Nadia was 3 when Cole was born. She does not remember the before. She has never known a version of her family that did not include hospital bags packed by the front door and medication schedules on the refrigerator, and parents whose attention moved in a direction she learned not to compete with. She loves Cole. Let me say that clearly and completely. She loves him in a way that only a sibling can, with the fierceness and tenderness and an intimacy built from years of shared space and shared parents and shared life. When Cole had his second surgery at age 4, Nadia sat in the waiting room with her grandmother and drew pictures for 2 hours straight. Not because anyone asked her to, because her hands needed something to do. She gave the pictures to Cole when he woke up. But Nadia also carries something she has never fully said out loud. She carries the memory of her birthday parties that got canceled because Cole had an appointment. School plays her parents missed because Cole had a procedure. Nights she spent at her grandmother's house because the hospital didn't have room for her too. She carries that particular loneliness of being the child in the family who was fine, who everyone assumes is fine, who has learned to be fine because the alternative takes up space that she does not feel she has the right to claim. She has never told her parents any of this, not because they would not listen, but because she has seen what they carry, and she loves them too much to add to it. When you ask Nadia what she wants people to know about being a CHD sibling, she thinks for a long time, and then she says this: I just want people to ask me how I'm doing sometimes. Not about Cole, but about me, just me, because I'm a person too, and I have feelings too, and sometimes it gets really lonely being the one who is always okay. 12 years old, a brother she loves with everything she has, and a loneliness she has been carrying since she was 3 years old that nobody thought to name. That is a CHD sibling in their own words. And there are hundreds of thousands of children exactly like Nadia growing up right now. Loving their siblings, carrying their quiet, waiting for someone to ask. Today the encouragement goes to the siblings, to Nadia and every brother and sister who has grown up alongside congenital heart disease and wondered if their feelings had a place in the story. They do, they always do. Your love for your siblings is one of the most extraordinary things in this world. The pictures you drew in the waiting room, the nights you spent being brave at your grandmother's house so your parents could be where they need to be. The way you learned to read the room before you learned to read a book. The way you made yourself smaller so there would be more space for everyone else. That is not nothing. That is an act of love so large, so quiet that most people will never fully understand what it cost you. And I want you to know that your feelings are not smaller because your siblings' medical needs are bigger. Pain does not work on a scale. Loneliness does not require permission. You are allowed to grieve the birthday parties and the school plays and the ordinary childhood you deserve to have alongside the extraordinary sibling you were given. Both things are true at the same time. You love Cole, and sometimes it's hard. Both of those things are completely real and completely valid and completely yours to feel. To the parents of CHD siblings, you are doing the best you can inside one of the hardest situations a family can face. And the fact that you are listening to this episode tells me that you are paying attention, that you see Nadia, that you want to do right by both of your children, even when everything is pulling you in one direction. Ask them how they're doing. Not about their sibling, about them, just them. It's the smallest thing and the biggest thing at the same time. So here's what I'm asking you to do today. If you have a CHD sibling in your life, check on them today, not with a big conversation if they are not ready for one. Just a moment, just their name said with your full attention on them, just the question asked like you actually want to know the answer. How are you doing? And if you are a CHD sibling yourself, whether you are 12 years old like Nadia or 35 years old and still carry something you never fully put down, I want you to know that your story has a place here. Send it to us at heartbeatforward.org. Tell us what it was like. Tell us what you'd wish someone had asked you. Tell us what you needed that nobody knew to give. We are listening. We have always been listening, and your story matters just as much as anyone else in this family. Visit heartbeatforward.org to learn more about our mission and how you can support every member of the CHD family, not just the children with the diagnosis, all of them. Thank you so much for being here for episode 7, to Nadia and to every sibling who drew pictures. in a waiting room and gave them away and never asked for anything to return. You are seen. You have always been seen here. This is Small Hearts, Loud Voices. I'm Adrian Adair, because every small heart deserves a loud voice.